Welcome, everyone, to the Woodbridge Channel's coverage of the 46th Annual Woodbridge St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm Craig Coughlin. I'll be bringing the parade with my colleague and friend, John Mitch. And, John, it's going to be a great parade.
It is. Despite the little drizzle that they're going to see today, the temperatures are 40 degrees. There's no wind. It's a little damp, but it's going to be a great day for the American Irish here in Woodbridge.
I know before this you had a chance to speak with a number of the participants of the parade. Tell me what their spirits are like.
Their spirits are great. They always are. As the Laura Jacobs was saying, this is their liquid sunshine, and explained, and that's what happens over in Ireland, and that's why everything's so green.
Right. The parade's put on by the Woodbridge American Irish Club, and they'll be here in force today, won't they?
They will. They'll definitely be here in force, and this is their 46th year, and they're just looking to make each one better yet.
That's right. And we're going to get ready for the start in just a minute, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the parade, everyone.
Good afternoon, I am John Mitch, and along with Channel 35, we bring you the 2019 St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Woodbridge Township, the 46th annual event. With temperatures about 40 degrees, slight drizzle, a little bit damp. It has not dampened the crowd. It's much better, though, than this morning's heavy rains that we faced and throughout the night. I'm operating today from the El Ranchito restaurant, Mexican restaurant at 51 Main Street. I want to thank them for the comfort of being indoors, as Tom Henderson is outside for the American Irish announcing. Also want to give a shout out to the Ranchito. They also have a pizza and Mexican restaurant on Crows Mill Road in Fords. And I'll be joined in a short bit by State Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, who is out walking the parade route. So as you can see already in the line of march, just past the first police vehicles that started off, I see we have a number of the Woodbridge High School likely athletes. It looks like some of their baseball team members in the front. As we lead off today's parade for the American Irish Association of Woodbridge Township. And again, Woodbridge High School is one of three high schools located here in Woodbridge. We have Woodbridge, we have John F. Kennedy, and we have Colonia. Woodbridge colors, black and red. And as I recognize some of the baseball players as they come down, they're just starting their practice. Their seasons have taken off already. And of course, they throw their candy out to all the kids who love it. They're also carrying that American flag, and without a doubt, much easier to carry today since it's not raining at the moment. Under the direction of Glenn Lotman, the high school principal at Woodbridge High School. Let's welcome the Central Jersey Leathernecks, a Marine Corps League. This group formed in 1993. It's a senior color guard group representing the United States Marine Corps. We have Sergeant Kelly Terrell, their color guard captain. Their commandant is also Kelly, a Marine Corps dress blues that they'll be wearing today. They've always been a part of any Woodbridge parade here and have been recognized by many regional and state color and honor guard awards and competitions. Again, this is the John Bassileone Marine Corps League. Again, the John Bassileone Detachment 190 Marine Corps League. They were established in 1946. Their commandant, Miriam Chariz. Coming into view, the pipe and drum of Barnegat Bay out of Toms River. Pipe band. Their leaders are Brenda Daly, drum major, Frank Johnson, pipe major, Jen Weingarten, pipe sergeant, Kate Honan, pipe corporal, and Hunter Ingling, drum sergeant. You take notice of their dress uniforms today. Their tartan is of the Irving of Bonshaw family tartan. And we'll take notice of the pattern in their crisscrossed horizontal and vertical bands in multiple colors here as part of their uniform. Band. They are a grade 5 competition band, and they sponsor the Jersey Shore Piping and Drumming Classic, which will be held this year on July 14th. They also want to do a special welcome to their new drummer, Jack Murr. See Mayor John McCormick as he leads a group of dignitaries along with Board of Education members. I see Jonathan Schwebrauser, I see Dan Harris. Let's go down the list. Council members, Corey Spiller, Council President, Lisbeth De Jesus, Nancy Drum, Howie Bauer, Councilwoman Meehan, Kyle Anderson, Councilman Small. I also saw there Congressman Frank Pallone. I did see Craig Coughlin, our Assembly Speaker, will be joining me, like I said, momentarily. Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, Senator Joe Vitale. Did see Sheriff Millie Scott, County Clerk Elaine Flynn, and Deputy Clerk Suzette Dado. There were also a couple of freeholders that we saw in that group. Ron Rios, Charlie Kenny from Woodbridge, Ken Armwood, Charlie Tamaro, Leslie Copel, Shante Nara, and Blanquita Valente.
Hello, John.
Welcome again.
Hello,
to our
everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Our speaker, Craig Coughlin.
Nice to be here.
I opened up and indicated a little bit of light drizzle, about 40 degrees.
There you go.
Doesn't appear to have changed.
No, it's the same. And, you know, it cuts down on the crowd a little bit. But I'll tell you, the crowd is really solid. You know, given the fact that it was tricky and they had predicted it was going to stop about noon, but that didn't happen. So.
No, but didn't seem to dampen too much of the spirits.
Absolutely not.
As again, you see our elected officials in line. I pretty much went down the list.
Mccormick. Look at that, no coat, rocking a no coat. Jim Carroll pushing his granddaughter, former
Grand Marshal,
former councilman, Kyle Anderson, and Senator Kerri-Anne joining us from Union County. My running mate, Yvonne Lopez there in the orange coat. Looking festive. Leslie Coppola.
See, Bonnie Nolan.
Ken Armwood, Debbie Meehan, Councilor there, Sheriff Millie Scott.
Spoke with her prior to the parade. Always stops by Woodbridge.
Yeah, she's a Perth Amboy girl originally, right? Went on, now lives in Piscataway.
Piscataway, yes. Earlier today, I spoke to Mary Alice Jacko, this year's Grand Marshal. And let's see what Mary Alice had to say about what she was expecting to hear and see for today.
Okay, right now I'm here with Mary Alice Jacko, who is the Grand Marshal for the 2019 St. Patrick's Day. I want to start with, let's go back to your maiden name first. Let's go back to Mary Alice Aston. So your family has had a tradition of blood, sweat, and tears in the American Irish Association, and in particular, the parade. You have we grew up together, so as a young child, you and your sister, your late sister Cindy, your brother George, put so much into this with your parents, your father, former Grand Marshal, your mom, Irish Woman of the Year, and the fun parties to kick off the parade, the breakfast that your mom and dad put together at your home. So give us a little bit of what it was like growing up in the organization, and let's fast forward to today, the honor for being the Grand Marshal.
I have been with this organization, like you said, almost more than half my life, you know, and I can remember we'd go to flag raising and we'd come home and we'd have breakfast. We'd be cooking eggs and getting everything ready and Irish coffees, and then coming back here and putting the parade on the street. It's always been, you know, a tradition, and, you know, I still carry that tradition on. And a funny story, I always wear suspenders in memory of my dad for the parade. But this year, being Grand Marshal, I said to my daughter, it really doesn't go with my outfit. Will you wear them? I'm going to pass them on to you. So she's wearing my suspenders this year in honor of my dad.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the Astons, the Sinatras, the Styles, you've all been involved putting this together for, again, these years. So what is it going to feel like today when you turn the corner on Main Street?
Wow, it's kind of surreal to me. You know, I'm not used to I'm used to being the last person to march.
Right.
So it's so crazy that there's people behind me, and all, you know, a lot of times the crowds are thinning, and by the time we get down there, and especially on a day like today, who knows, but you know, to have everybody there while you're actually marching, it'll be amazing. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, enjoy the experience. It is true. You are always at the very end, making sure everybody is out of the high school and all the way down to Main Street. Today you'll be able to look at them all coming. Again, enjoy the experience and congratulations on the honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Everybody seems to be wearing their green today.
Everybody's decked out in green. Absolutely. Yeah, it really is the color of, well, it's color of Ireland for sure.
Absolutely. In fact, his hair kind of looks like the flags that are flown on all the lampposts coming down Main Street.
Exactly right.
The flag of Ireland and the American flag on every post. It looked nice coming down Main Street this morning. And as we welcome the American Irish Association from Woodbridge, they are the Egan's in their van, kicking off their their members that'll fall behind.
Here we see one of the street vendors here. Still an opportunity to come out and buy some things and have fun with your children.
See a number of, here we go. Let's start off with our Grand Marshal, Mary Alice Jacko. Mary Alice has been a member of the American Irish for 35 years. Has served as an officer, parade chair, and various fundraising committees. This has been a part of her life as long as she can remember. Her dad was Grand Marshal in 1989. Her mom was Irish Woman of the Year as well that year. Usually she is at the end of the parade, but this year she's at the beginning of the parade.
That's right. There she is, following in her dad's footsteps. Her dad was also a Grand Marshal, the first father and daughter combination.
Absolutely. She's joined today by her family, her son, her daughter, her son-in-law. Her mom, Mary Aston, is expected to be with her as well. I had an opportunity to speak to her before the parade. We talked about all the pre-parade breakfasts that they used to host at their home. It was always a great event to attend.
There we go.
She also has a lot of mixed emotions today walking down the parade route. Many memories with her family, as we see.
There we see
Susan Crawford.
She's the Irish Woman of the Year. Her parents were some of the charter members of the Woodbridge American Irish. She's attended these parades, and she said since she was a little girl. She goes to St. Cecilia's. She went to St. Cecilia's Church, and she's the chair of the hospitality committee for the past couple of years.
And she said earlier that there was a tradition in her family to celebrate their heritage with her parents, herself, her daughter, and now her new grandson, Jaden. As we now see Ken Gardner. Take note, if I can, as you want to announce some items about Ken. Notice everybody has the same shirts. I understand his daughter Rebecca had shirts made in his honor today.
Oh, that's really nice.
He was expecting about 35 people to join him.
Yep, there we go. We see him and his lovely wife and his children. Ken was somebody who's been involved in the community for a long time. Former councilman, former council president, member of the fire department, a trustee for the League of Municipalities Educational Foundation. Volunteer fireman, as I said, fire chief and commissioner, Little League soccer coach. He's somebody who is really involved and engaged in the community, and a man of great service. So, Ken, congratulations on being the Irishman of the Year. Well deserved.
See a number of former Grand Marshals coming into view as well.
There we go. Sean Keaveney, Jack Wall. Whose face that is in the middle.
But they keep coming back, which is great.
Exactly right. Some of their family members.
It's like the skies are getting a little brighter, which is great. There's our
parade chairs.
Parade chairs. Yep, our parade chair and co-chair. The parade chair this year is Laura Jacobs, and Maureen Juergens is the parade co-chair.
Exactly. And boy, is that an awful lot of work. Thank you to both of them for their job well done. It is really a labor of love, John. Anybody I know who's been at Dan Harris, I know, was the parade chair a few years ago. It is virtually a full-time job.
Absolutely. I asked Laura earlier about the rain, and she said when she was in Ireland, she spoke to a man who called liquid rays of sunshine, and that's why Ireland is so green.
There we go.
So it did not dampen her spirits today.
Next up, the Middlesex County Police and Fire Pipe and Drums out of South River. About 15 or 20 of the members are here today. Rich Van Dorsen, I'm sorry, is the band leader. I guess his mother's Irish, huh?
I guess so. And their mission is to honor fallen law enforcement and firefighters who have given their lives in service. They desire to strengthen relations between the protective services and the public, and to preserve cultural heritage and enrich their community by providing their traditional bagpipe and drum music. Notice a couple of our own police officers from Woodbridge in that group. I just saw Sergeant Colton.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Now they're, I thought they were going to go back the other way.
They are a little performance here in front of the reviewing stand. And again, I said earlier, too, we want to thank the El Ranchito restaurant for allowing us to take over part of the restaurant today and announce this from inside.
That's right. So it's having been on top of the truck on some days, it can be a little nippy.
Yes, I always feel bad for Tom Henderson out there, but this isn't a bad year to be out there.
No, it's not so bad.
Yeah, let's run down some of the officers, though, for the American Irish as well.
Come into view. Yeah, John.
We have Deborah Hutchinson, the president, Ed McSherry, vice president, Jane Boble, corresponding secretary, my good friend Dolores Boyd, recording secretary, Jack Cassidy, sergeant at arms, Karen Devlin, financial secretary, and Cindy Jakovich, treasurer.
Their directors are Sean Keaveney, Barbara Lasik, John Rittman, Ken Egan, Joan Ward, Joan Diaz. So thank you to all of them. It is really a terrific organization, terrific club. They really are. They get involved in the community. They do lots of good things. And, of course, the highlight is to put together this amazing parade each and every year.
Absolutely. We talked about they get involved in veterans programs. They do so much more than just putting together the parade. And later on, we'll cut into the president as she mentions how you can become part of their organization.
Okay. Got to talk to
Joan Diaz.
Debbie.
This morning, I had the opportunity to speak to Laura Jacobs, the parade chair for this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Okay, so right now I'm with Laura Jacobs, who is this year's parade chair. I want to talk about a couple things. Let's first start with what does it take? What does it take from you and all of the members of the organization to put together such a great parade here in Woodbridge every year?
Well, it is an honor to be part of such an amazing parade, and everybody works so hard. It takes a committee. Transitioning from last year's co-chair to chair this year with the help of the chairwoman Karen from last year.
Karen
so
Devlin,
so she helped me. But everybody does such a big part, and they each have their own job. They come together, but it takes many months.
It does.
We begin in the summertime.
I believe
and
it.
we meet every month to make sure that everything comes together today to bring joy to Woodbridge.
And you always do. Your organization always does. So right now we're fortunate to be standing out here just in a very light mist, but an hour or two ago and all through the night it poured.
Oh, believe me.
What were your thoughts? What was going through your mind?
I received many emails, I did. But I have a funny story because a few years ago, my husband and myself, along with the American Irish, were in Ireland. And we were walking down the street, and I saw a little old gentleman in his Irish brogue. He said to me, "In Ireland, we call this liquid rays of sunshine. Why do you think Ireland's so green?" And I thought, you're right. So
Absolutely.
We're getting that today. But the good thing is it's supposed to end before we march. So we're going to have a rainbow to start our parade.
Absolutely.
So come on out, because you might find that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Absolutely. And Laura, I guess today, when we turn onto Main Street, it's probably going to be exciting because that's normally where you see the crowd. What do you think your thoughts will be?
Oh, I can't even imagine. Yesterday morning we were there when they were painting the green line.
Yes.
And that was amazing. So today I'll probably swell up with tears and just be so happy to see their faces and just to know that all our hard work paid off.
Paid off, absolutely. Congratulations again. Have a great
Thank
time
you.
during the parade and the parade post-event.
Thank you. Oh, yes, at the Woodbridge Community Center, definitely.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
All right, Laura, good luck. Thank you.
Some of the group coming into
Their their officers and their directors. There's so much family in this organization.
Yeah,
so
there
many
really
years
is.
of service, generations.
Yeah, I was at the flag raising this morning, so were you. And people talk about how I think Mary Alice, who's the Grand Marshal, was also the Irish woman, not the Irish Woman of the Year. She was, when she was a kid, she was the
Lady in
Miss
Waiting,
American
right?
Irish,
or Miss
Lady
American
in Waiting.
Irish, yeah.
I forget what year it was, but it was a while ago, and her parents have been involved, and her brothers involved. So, it's it is a family tradition and a commitment to the Irish heritage.
To their heritage, absolutely.
Banner celebrating Charlie Shaughnessy, who for so many years was such an important part of this club, and did the parade with me for a few years. Back in the day, as they say.
Yes. They're also honoring today Erin Cahill as Miss American Irish. Erin is a student at Edison High School. Spoke with her earlier as well. Pursuing her education after she graduates this year. Plans on going to East Stroudsburg University.
There we go.
Spoke to
Interested in a career in cosmetology. But in her spare time, she takes part in plays, does the prom, outside activities, bridal and birthday parties. So she's already working towards her goal. We see a lot of
Mary Natali, a couple others in that people mover there. So I had an opportunity to speak to Mayor John McCormick before the parade.
Okay, I'm joined right now by Mayor John E. McCormick of Woodbridge, a former Grand Marshal for the American Irish Association Parade. Mayor, as we were talking to a couple people early on our pre-parade interviews, it rained all night. It poured all night. The luck of the Irish, though, looks like things are changing.
So far, so good. It's not really raining now. They said it's basically stopping before the parade starts at 1:30, so that's good news. We just have to watch out for puddles.
Very good. And what do you anticipate the crowds to be today?
Well, I'll tell you, this morning at the flag raising and the pre-parade breakfast was packed, and that shocked me because, well, it's always a problem because it's daylight savings time switches, so a whole lot of people forget to set their clocks. But there was more people at both events this morning than I thought, so maybe that's a good sign for the parade.
Very good. Very good.
Also spoke earlier with the young lady in waiting, Grace Fisher. Interesting, a junior at Roselle Catholic, and one of the things that we highlighted here for her was that she raised an attempt to raise awareness for homeless. She slept outside overnight in a cardboard box to raise funds.
Really?
And she also spoke out for suicide prevention and awareness. Had a nice little conversation with her as well.
Yeah, she was awfully bubbly this morning. She was terrific. I don't know how old she is, but I don't know what year
she was a junior,
right?
Yeah.
So she's probably 16, 17. She was very comfortable speaking to people and being in front of the microphone. Just did a terrific job.
Sure. Shout out to Pat Ziegler, who just came by in the vehicle from Miller Pontiac. It's always nice when the local car dealerships lend you their vehicles. Okay, we got the marching Mustangs, it looks like, coming into view from John F. Kennedy High School here in Island.
Big Irish flag they got there. This may be the players, John. I guess they're leading them in, right?
Yeah. Looks like we got some football players there, followed by the cheerleaders. And again, as I noted earlier, with Woodbridge walking by, carrying the flag is a little bit easier without the rain, without it being heavy and wet.
Exactly. And I guess they're leading in. There we go.
There's Erin Cahill.
Right.
Very nice to speak to also earlier today.
Yeah, she was very confident at the, confident speaker. I always admire young people who get up in front. There had to be 100 people there this morning.
That's great.
In the council chamber. And, she was poised and did a terrific job. So congratulations, Erin.
And there's Grace Fisher. There's the one who was with the raising awareness on the homeless. Also very, very easy to talk with.
She is.
And very excited, both of these girls today. Interviewed them at the same time, and they were both very happy to enjoy this day.
There we go. A little float coming your way.
This float, as you probably know, Craig, every year Alice Sinatra puts it together with Andrew Mazzarella. And this year's theme, as you can see, is Touring Ireland. And they have the counties listed. They have their sheep. I know they were putting this together the last couple of weeks, and it all came together, I believe, yesterday.
Really?
And that's how the two of them work best. It's always a great float that they put together.
It's always good to have a deadline, huh?
I got to point out, you wouldn't expect someone with the last name of Sinatra and Mazzarella to be putting that together, but they've probably been doing it about 20 years, I would guess, maybe more. Great job.
Clips and Mower, Dublin, Donegal, Blarney Castle.
Denis.
Got it all.
Yep. Very nice.
Awfully nice, yep. Just terrific. And they are followed by a bunch of cute kids.
The roaming railroad. Yep.
Roaming railroad.
I met some of these young men earlier.
And now we get the Legionnaire Senior Marching Band. Carteret. Associated with American Legion Post 263.
They're formed in 1961. Their bandmaster is Danny Tornambi, color guard Captain Matt Harrell, treasurer Harry Axon, administrative assistant Cindy King. Their band has traveled cross-country to attend several National American Legion conventions, and in 2001, the Legionnaire played on the Battleship New Jersey, anchored in Camden, for the 60th anniversary.
And they've also performed pregame shows at Yankee Stadium. How about that?
There you go.
You see some of the crowd there along Main Street. They are followed by the Woodbridge American Legion Post 87 and their senior color guard.
American Legion is the oldest veterans organization in the world, representing all veterans of all wars. Sorry.
The commander is Michael Janatuski.
Prior to the parade, I had an opportunity to speak to Maureen Juergens, the parade co-chair this year.
Okay, right now I'm here with Maureen Juergens, who is this year's parade co-chair.
Yes.
And let me ask you this. How does this year prepare you for next year when you will be the chair of the parade?
I follow along. I watch everything that my chair is doing, and she provides me with a lot of guidance and a lot of material to help me prepare for next year.
So you have prior to now and a year to go.
Yes.
Okay. So when you turn, we start the line of march and we turn on to Linden Avenue. I always love going down Linden Avenue because the houses are decorated, and the parties that people have on their front lawns, their houses are overflowing. What are your thoughts when you walk by a house like that?
It gives you a lot of pride that people take so much effort for their heritage, and they put a lot of effort into bringing their own friends and family to come and set up their houses and get ready for this big day.
They do. Very good. Well, listen, I'm glad you learned a lot from Laura. I know she's here. It's an exciting day for her. You have a year to prepare, and we wish you all a lot of success today, and we'll be here for you next year as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Those bags. Yeah, see that little guy's got a bag here. He's hoping to get candy.
Yeah, sure.
The kids have tuned into that. You have to stuff it in your pocket.
More and more people have showed up. It's got a really good-sized crowd today, followed by the American VFW, Avenel VFW 7164 in their latest auxiliary. Veterans organization out of Avenel.
They support veterans and military families.
And their commander this year is John McIntosh, auxiliary president Rhonda Hazlitt.
Their mission is to assist veterans and active military and their families with any of their needs. They also give scholarships to high school seniors who are relative to either or are a relative to either veterans or active duty surgeons. And they're very active in the community. They want us to know, and they are.
They
Thank
do.
you.
The Avenel VFW is definitely very active.
Yep. You see a little gap here.
Yeah. Skies are getting a little brighter, it appears.
A little bit. And of course the clock moved ahead, so it's going to stay lighter later.
Yes.
Say that 3 times fast. Gets a lot of people though. Yeah, moving that clock ahead. If people forget.
Followed by, as you can see coming into view, is the Woodbridge Township Senior Billiards Club. 2019 is Woodbridge Township Senior Billiards Club 15th anniversary. Their president is Steve Sharkey. The club was founded by Pat Trombetta, Frank St. Marie, and the late Chester Canal. And this year, in celebrating the town's 350th anniversary, and in particular, they're marching today because they just recently lost a dear friend and member, Tony Falco. So keeping Tony and his family in your thoughts and your prayers. And just recognizing the Woodbridge Senior Billiards Club. It's a very active organization here in Woodbridge Township. Wow, 15 years went fast.
It sure did. I remember when it was formed, don't you?
Yeah, Jimmy Nolan's dad, right?
He donated a couple of pool tables.
Yeah,
pool
absolutely.
Now it's a big
there you go. I see.
There we go.
Pat Trombetta,
Frank's
St.
got
Marie.
that's him in the back there.
Very nice. They tell me today, somebody told me Enzo Martino is the guy he can teach anybody to play pool. Yes. I got matching hats on today. That's great. Great group of guys.
Yeah, they're
and
really
women, by the way.
Yes, true. Absolutely true.
They have some really good pool shooters.
There we go. Some more of the group. Yeah.
There you go.
Of course, Frank and Pat are central to the Senior Olympics that we are lucky enough to host here in Woodbridge each and every September. I attracted them here, and the township has really committed to that. And if we're not the permanent home, officially we're the permanent home de facto.
Absolutely.
Woodbridge does really roll out the carpet for the Senior Olympians, and does a terrific job, as it does with everything, John.
I've encouraged people, and they're looking for something to do, join the Billiards Club. It's a great outing. Okay, we have some more members, followed by WCTC's radio van out of Somerset. If you remember, Craig, years ago, we listened to it to find out if we had school.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. I remember you'd get up and you'd run to the radio and go, "Come on, baby."
Got to tune in 1450 a.m.
Exactly right. All right, so our friend and the host of the morning drive show, Bert Barron, was here at the flag raising this morning. He's a good guy.
Very nice.
A Marconi Award winner, Hall of Famer, Bert Barron. Next up is the Avenel
Fire
Department, I guess.
Yeah, we have a ladies auxiliary. It's the Connie Naroda carrying the fire company banner with Cheyenne Kirshner.
The Avenel Fire Department recently celebrated its 100th anniversary back in 2013. Founded, as I said, back in 1913. The 5th fire district.
There you go. Bobby
and you're a
Smolder
commissioner, if I'm not mistaken, John, are you
Yes,
not?
sir.
How long have you been that?
Since 1987, on and off.
Really? Dan Mizak, the chief, and President Frank Strain do lots of good work.
Yeah, see as their float just makes its way past us with some of the children of the members, some of the members of the ladies auxiliary as well.
How many fire calls a year do you get? Scores and
about
scores,
600.
Right?
Yeah, probably about 600 on the average.
Wow.
And that's, just one department of 9. I also had the opportunity this morning to speak to the Irish Man of the Year, Ken Gardner. Having the opportunity to speak to him at the high school earlier, and this is what he had to say.
I'm here now with Ken Gardner, Irish Man of the Year. Ken, I know you've been involved with the American Irish Association for some time now. Past president, past director, publicity chair for a long time. You have a long heritage of family members, the Rogans, obviously the Gardners and the Fitzpatricks. Talk about the honor that you have. I want you to touch on your sponsors for today, but also let people know. I remember a number of years ago you had an outreach with the ambassador out of Ireland. So talk about that as well.
Great. First, I got to talk about the outreach to the clerk here. We go back a long way. We were volunteer firefighters together here in town. Then we served on the town council together. You frequently remind me, and God, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this in the weather, but when you were the emergency management coordinator as fire chief, we got a boat for our fire company. We don't want to talk about any water or boats today, and certainly we're still friends today. So thank you. But it was great to be associated with the American Irish. Grew up going to the parade my whole life, watching my uncles and grandfathers march as firemen. Got to march with our fire company the year I was chief. I missed the parade because we had a fire up at Sharon Gardens and we missed the whole parade. But with the association, I became president. We tried to do outreach to other clubs and so forth, and had the honor of meeting our ambassador in Washington. Our consul general out of New York had our deputy consul general come and speak at some of our meetings. So we tried to establish relationships. And of course, we just had Mickey Gross here, the leader of the South Amboy Parade and council president. He's a great friend. We got a great association with the South Amboy Club as well. Our sponsors, I've worked with our sponsors who help us put the parade on the street. Our local businesses, please support them. They are great. They take ads in our book. Take a look at our bad, and please support them so we can have the parade again next year. And our major sponsor, our platinum sponsor, is JFK Meridian Healthcare. Provides a great amount of money to the bank. We also have BCB Bank of Woodbridge, Moby Dick's. A new bar coming to the edge of town. The owners of Ariana's are opening up Heat Bar and Grill. They supply some great funds to help us, and also Big Shots. Forge Jewelers takes a banner for us as well. The Learning Experience across the street from Town Hall takes a banner in the parade as well. And we just had a retirement. Jim Doric was a past chairman, past Grand Marshal. He was an attorney and supported the parade for years and as announcer, so I just want to give him a plug for all the great work he's done for us as well.
Thank you. Let's also, before we wrap it up, give a shout out to the support from your immediate family, Janine, Rebecca, Kenny.
Got a big surprise today, John. You know, we're standing here in Woodbridge High parking lot. I met Janine on the track here. I was a freshman. She was a sophomore. It was our first year the sophomores came into Woodbridge High. Met her on the track. It was love at first sight for me. Took her quite a while, but she admired my persistence. She's now a teacher here at Woodbridge High still, so has never left, which is a great thing for the Barons. My daughter now is a teacher, Rebecca, former Miss American Irish. And, as I said before, my redheaded son is friend with the Jackos and the Astons, who have been involved with the parade for a year, and they started the Young American Irish of Woodbridge, which is more of a social club, but we have marshaling the parade as well. So my family's been so supportive. As you know, my parents were divorced when I was young, and my mom passed away entering high school. That's when I moved in with the Fitzpatricks, but I had a huge safety net with a big Irish family that take care of me. I was surprised with my daughter organizing today. They got great green T-shirts that say Ken Gardner Irishman of the Year with a caricature of myself. My cousin's husband, Ben, is a designer and made up the design. And I've got about 35 first cousins that are going to march with me in the parade. Although I've never had any brothers and sisters, I got plenty of family.
Very nice. Very good, Mr. Gardner. Congratulations again.
The float being pulled by Aquila Landscaping, and I should shout out that was SSR float that was just being pulled earlier by Bobby Smolder.
And this is, let's see, I think this is Relay for Life.
Yeah, this is Relay for Life of Woodbridge Township, celebrating their 25 years of fighting back against cancer. Please join them for the 2019 walk on June 8th at Woodbridge High School.
And thanks to the Aquila Landscaping folks. Greg Quilla, great guy.
This group was established in 1994. I'm going to just take notice of that. We saw the fire company come by with no fire trucks, so my guess is that they had an alarm while they were here lining up for the parade.
That has happened before. In fact, this morning when he was making his remarks, Ken Gardner told the story of how, whatever it is, speaking of Ken, he's just walking by the window here, that they were getting ready to go, and the alarm and duty called, and they missed the entire parade. So
it happens.
From Berkeley College. Yes,
this is Sakura waving over here. With her and her mom both have their green hats on. Have their little Afghans on them, keeping them warm.
If you're a firefighter, you're on duty all the time. There's no off days. There's no days where you say, okay, there's not going to be a fire today, and go out and about, or some need for them.
That's correct. Okay, coming into view, the Trenton Ancient Order of Hibernians Pipe Band out of Trenton. They usually have about 15-20 members marching. Colin Duffy is the pipe major.
Band goes back to 2006. Dedicated to continuing the traditional performances of Celtic music on Highland bagpipes. Trenton AOH pipe and drums.
always say that it's the music that makes the parades.
Oh, for sure.
It adds so much to it, and I always know this annual parade always has plenty of music. One of the sponsors of today's parade, Ford's Jewelers, just walking by. A shout out to them. I know JFK Hospital Meridian, Ariana's Heat was another restaurant, BCB Bank.
Yeah, we see the Forge Jewelers division are one of our sponsors, the good folks at Forge Jewelers.
Now we have the Ancient Order of Hibernians Brian Boru division of Middlesex County, an Irish Catholic fraternal organization formed in 2015. Jeremiah O'Grady, division president, Earl Young, vice president, Michael Clancy, treasurer, and Michael Farrell, financial secretary.
They're also based out of South Village. Brian Baru. And they are followed by the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary under the command of our friend John Eberhardt. I think he's in command. We always think he's in command. They're going to see their 28-foot boat along with them.
Yeah, their flotilla commander is Mike Rebeck.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, Mike.
And Yasser Chandri, their vice flotilla commander.
Now, John Eberhardt will always be the flotilla commander in my mind.
I saw them navigating that.
No disrespect to Mike or Yasser.
Now, when you think about the Coast Guard Auxiliary,
speaking of John Eberhardt, on cue.
Yep.
There he is. I'm sorry, John, I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say I was watching them navigate that boat through the high school parking lot earlier today.
Oh, really? It's a big boat, 28 feet.
So again, we're sitting here. Again, I'm John Mitch for TV 35 with State Speaker of the Assembly, Craig Coughlin, and we're operating inside the El Ranchito Mexican Restaurant at 51B Main Street. So we want to thank them for
their hospitality,
letting us stay inside. And again, a great day for a parade. A couple rundowns again. You have the Mary Alice Jacko Grand Marshal today. So this is her day, along with the American Irish Association of Woodbridge Township.
Here we see somebody with a pipe and drums. Could it be the Richmond County pipe and drums? Sorry, folks. It's on the drum right there, but I just lost it.
Yeah, the Richmond County Pipe and Drum usually escorts the Woodbridge Fire Department down Main Street for every one of these parades, so we welcome them, as you mentioned.
This is that Brian Fee is the chief. Oh, no, he's the Richmond County Pipe and Drum. Yeah, Brian Fee is the chief. And we see the Woodbridge Fire Department, as you point out, John.
Number of the firefighters. Woodbridge, again, one of 9 fire districts. They have a great turnout today.
They do.
Shout out to all the members.
No, Brian Fee is the chief of Woodbridge. I think Yep.
Yeah, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian is the chief. I'm just actually impressed watching how many members are here. That's a wonderful turnout for Woodbridge Fire.
Yep. Thanks for all of their support. They founded way back in 1897. I believe they're the oldest in the township, right, John?
Yes. We're celebrating their 100th anniversary, so obviously that's quite a while ago.
Do you remember what it actually means, or pretending it's amazing?
Woodbridge Fire Department, thanks for your service. Next up, Berkeley College, right here on Rawway Avenue. Included in the group are their staff and students. They go back to 1931, John.
Yes, and they've been preparing students for successful careers since that time. And they say times have changed, but Berkeley's student-first commitment is what stands out. Berkeley College, located right across the street from Town Hall. And they offer career-focused programs, supportive professors with real-world industry knowledge, hands-on learning through internship programs, and a variety of supplemental programs and activities. Berkeley College.
Go. Followed by the Port Reading First Aid. Oh, but first we see WCBS FM 101.1. And in their van. They play songs that I remember when I was a kid, which is a while ago, ladies and gentlemen.
Followed by the Port Reading First Aid Squad, also one of several first aid squads providing emergency medical assistance here to the residents and visitors of Woodbridge Township. They were formed in 1970 and under the leadership quite often of Steve Weber and I believe Brian Small.
Next up, the Woodbridge High School Marching Band.
So under the leadership of Jason Cohn, the band director, Jennifer Kahn, the assistant band director. The Woodbridge High School Marching Band that is an extracurricular organization which is an offshoot of the instrumental music department at the high school. Students in the band are athletes, scholars, volunteers, artists, musicians, and some of the most visible representatives from Woodbridge High School throughout the community.
The instrumental music department at Woodbridge High offers multiple performance opportunities for students inside and out of the school day and participates in over 20 performances and competitions every year. Last year, for example, the band at Color Guard received the rave reviews from the performance Marching Down Main Street, USA in the Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. They've also gotten accolades for Mccormick at the University of Delaware and the Steps of the Lincoln Memorial. This season, the band took 5th place in the Group 2A state championships, while 1st place in percussion and 2nd place in color guard.
Followed by another sponsor, as I indicated earlier, BCB Bank. And the musical, their spring musical, Into the Woods. Their show dates are Thursday, March 21st through Sunday, March 24th. Ticket information, call 732-602-8600.
And these high school plays are really good, John.
They absolutely are.
I haven't seen one in a few years, but I know from my past experience that the shows are terrific, top quality and terrific acting.
And their directors are Kelly Terrell and Tom Lynch.
You see Kelly Terrell with his Marine hat on to the lower right of your screen, or center, actually, they're in the center of the screen. Let's listen to them sing.
And then again, for tickets, call 732-602-8600 to see their play between March 21st and 24th.
Good job. So the Woodbridge High School Springcast.
We're like, never mind. We're all talking
now
about
we have the Junior Police Academy. The Woodbridge Police Community Affairs Department brings their Junior Police Academy graduates to today's parade under the leadership of Detective Joel Schlossberg and Detective Mark Zeno, with the assistance of Detectives Ranson, Broll, Officer Ricardo, and Officer Patel and Harris. It's always a great program that's put on year after year by our police department now under the leadership of Director Hubner and Deputy Director Niski.
I'll tell you, these cadets take it seriously. They really do. I've seen them, outside of a formation like this, and when they got their game faces on.
Yeah, you got about 24 today of marching. Yes, they do.
You can see up Main Street, see the people all along the line of march.
Up, I see Rollo the Rhino. a mascot for the Woodbridge Community Center, making its way down Main Street with a number of the employees from the community center. I see them throwing out some balls over there and some t-shirts. I see Ryan Vasquez. I see Danielle Sika.
Yep, there's their mascot, Rolo the Rhino. Woodbridge Community Center is proud to serve the tri-state area for over 10 years. They're a 115,000 square foot sports and entertainment complex. The WCC is home to a 25-yard indoor pool, roller and ice skating rinks, outdoor mini golf and batting cages, cardio rooms, strength rooms, indoor track, full-service cafe, and the Skyline Pavilion. They also have the Highland Grove Pool and Spray Park, which both offer camp options for your children. Once again,
we have the traditional Dixieland music here with Paul and Pal's musical band out of Mountain Lakes, New Jersey.
Annual participant, there'll be 6 people. Traditional Dixieland instrumentation and with professional musicians playing happy American songbook standards. They participated in this parade for many years under the names 4+2, Cornucopia, and Paul and Pals. An annual participant.
Followed by the Middlesex County Democratic Organization. Chairman Kevin McCabe, Vice Chairwoman Beatrice Moskowitz, Director Rios. Yes, that's true. Freeholder Valente and Clerk Flynn accompanying the crowd today. You see the Hopalong Engine Company #1 right behind the MCDO. Established in 1914. Chief Billy Hegedus, President Brian Turcott. Two great gentlemen.
Yeah, that's true.
From the Hopalong Fire Department. Let's listen to what the Miss American Irish Erin Cahill and Lady-in-Waiting Grace Fisher had to say about this year's parade.
So I'm here now with Erin Cahill, who is this year's Miss American Irish, and also with Grace Fisher, who is the Lady-in-Waiting. I'm going to start with Erin. Erin, I know you're a senior in high school right now in Edison.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking, well, first of all, congratulations on the honor today. And I know you're already looking at going to college. So what's in your future?
Well, I hope in my future, it's kind of rough with my parents right now, but I'm hoping to go to East Stroudsburg. I'm supposed to be committing sometime this week, and I'm going to be studying finance and accounting. So I'm like super excited. A lot of my friends are going there, and I know a bunch of people that are there already, so it's something exciting to look forward to.
Very good. And today the honor of being here is one of the honorees, and your sister did the same a couple of years ago, right? How does that feel?
It's just amazing because like I never like would have thought like I would have been here. And when I was 8 years old, I met one of the Miss American Irishes, and I was like, I want to do this when I'm older, and like here I am, and it just feels so cool to like be here.
Very good. And you did something because the rain stopped.
Yeah, I know. I was praying all day, all day.
You were praying. Well, good luck and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And if you can,
in the window.
oh, there you go. Over to Grace.
Oh,
Grace is you're in school at Mother Seton?
Roselle Catholic.
Roselle Catholic. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Roselle Catholic, and I know because I had read some information on you, which really I think is incredible. So to raise awareness and funds for homeless, right? Mm-hmm. I understand you slept outside overnight in a box.
Yeah, it was something our entire parish did.
And then we're going to come back to today's what you're honoring today.
So one of the things we could do was if we were raising money and awareness, so we set up a box village and everyone slept outside overnight. It was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. We had a campfire going and it was really awesome.
Good.
I hope we do it again, I'm not gonna lie.
Very good. I think that's really great. Tell us, you're also, for your high school, you manage the boys volleyball team.
Yes, they are a handful, but you know.
Okay. And you want to give a plug today for suicide prevention?
So our school is doing something to raise awareness for suicide prevention. So in the spring we're going to run a 5K, and then our school itself we're doing something where you write positive sayings, and there's going to be a link that we're going to form around the school with it to show people that like they're important and that people will miss them and that we're all important.
Very good, very good. And one more comment from Erin. What do you think you're going to be feeling as we walk through the parade shortly?
I honestly have no idea. It's just like such joy and excitement to like be here like as a whole, and like all my friends and family are here. Like I have people coming from up north, down south, like everywhere. So it's just like so exciting to see everyone be here with me. Very good. Congratulations both to Erin and to Grace, and hope you have a great day here at the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. We will. Thank you. Thank you.
Also for the
Case Fire Department name. Right?
Also, for the viewing audience, always like to remind people, if they're interested in volunteering in the emergency services, stop by your local firehouse, stop by your local first aid squad, or stop by the police department. Talk about opportunities there as a volunteer.
You see the Caysby Fire District number 4 truck.
Their chief is Louis Montalvo.
Now that's a well-behaved puppy. I know Andrew was like, I want to bring Josie. And I was like, no, because you're not going to want to deal with her.
See the truck with the bright lights on it.
Gonna give a shout out to Jim Doric today. I'm filling in for him as he normally sits here and announces the parades. And
he goofed. He went and got tickets for an Irish show on Broadway.
Happy birthday.
And there we are, John. Hello, everybody.
There we are,
Happy
waving
St.
hi.
Patrick's Day. Hope you're having fun watching the parade. We're certainly having fun calling it.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Again, inside the El Ranchito restaurant here on Main Street in Woodbridge. I also learned today, because I did not know that, they also own the Ranchito Pizza and Mexican restaurant on Crows Mill Road, which used to be Delina's Tavern.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Speaking to the young lady earlier.
It's a small world, after all.
And you know how every parade used to end years ago at Delina's Tavern.
That's true.
Okay, so now we have the South Amboy. Oh, this is Mickey Gross's group, right? The South Amboy St. Patrick's Day group, your hometown.
The town I grew up in, that's exactly right. Their parade is next Saturday, the 16th. It's always a good parade. There's Mickey behind the wheel. Mickey also a councilman in South Amboy.
Oh, there he is, right? Walking.
There he is. Inside the car.
Walking. The president of the city council in South Amboy, Mickey Gross. It's nice that he came to Woodbridge's parade knowing he has his next week.
Give himself a big wave by the mix there. There you go. Good guy, Mickey Gross.
Followed by the Colonel D.B. Kelly Pipe and Drum, also out of South Amboy.
Associated with the AOH, or the Ancient Order of Hibernians. There we see George Fuller
is he's the drum major, right?
Yeah.
You got Anne-Marie Niddle, band manager, Lynn Ust, assistant band manager, and John McCarthy, pipe major.
As I said, they'll have their parade next Saturday afternoon.
Well, you know, the long-range forecast next Friday is 65 degrees.
I saw that.
So
that's okay. I'm ready for 65 degrees.
So let's hope they have a great day.
They're followed by the Fords Fire Company.
2019 fire chief for Fords this year is our councilman from the 2nd Ward, Howie Bauer. The president of the Board of Fire Commissioners, also a great guy and friend of ours, is Denis Henry. Became grandfather again this week for the second time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so congratulations to him and Andrea and to DJ and Kelly.
Here we see Howie Bauer, councilman. There's a waving there. He's got the white hat on, third in from the bottom of the screen.
They're in their 108th year of dedicated volunteer service to the 7th Fire District of Woodbridge Township. Give a shout out also to Dan Gregan, who was the president this year over in Fords.
Happy St. Patty's Day!
Happy St. Patty's Day. Hear people yelling. The crowd has not been dampened at all by the weather. Had some folks get back out of the parade, I guess, because they were afraid not to. Afraid to show up. Next up is, we just saw the Fords, end of the Fords group, and this is
out of Seawarren.
This is the South Amboy Boat Club of Woodbridge.
Right.
strong ties between South Amboy, but the South Amboy Boat Club relocated to Woodbridge, to the Woodbridge Marina, and so we welcome them.
Yeah, they've been here a couple of years now.
Yeah, and it goes fast, as we have talked about.
Sure does.
We see some of the members and their boat.
See a group of the spectators on the side. A lot of smiles here. This must be the Moby Dicks. Let's see.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe this is the Moby Dicks float. Pulled by Scott's Towing.
Moby Dick's one of the long-time establishments here in Woodbridge, down in the Sea Warren section.
They also, I want to thank them for allowing us to start off our first ever pub crawl this year from their location.
That's exactly right. Just a fun day.
Followed by the 7th Virginia Cavalry, Company A, out of Colonia, New Jersey. They participated in this parade for a number of years. They usually fire off the volley at the stepping off point that starts the parade.
They do, and it scares me half the time. And they did it again because they did it again this year. They were formed back in 1982, and they're a living history Civil War unit. And I've talked to him. I've had the chance to interview Phil Cohn and talk to him on several occasions. The amount of that they know about the Civil War is just remarkable. I do remind them that they lost.
Followed by Colonia High School marching band and color guard under the direction of Kevin Perdoni. With the Colonia High School Marching Patriots, drum majors Jaden Ravelis and Kaylin Fernandez. Student leaders Christine, Alex, Stephanie, Abby, Lily, Andrew, and Jennifer. They perform in over 25 events per year: football games, band competitions, parades, pep rallies, recruiting concerts, and community functions. And a shout out also to Mr. Ken Pace, the principal of Colonia High.
And they practice an awful lot. That's how they get so good. Yeah.
And Kevin Perdoni is supported by Ben Barbado, Jeff Leidner, and Nicole Donahue. And they'll be traveling to California this spring, where they'll lead the parade in Disneyland. Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, lucky kids. Good job. Probably had to raise an awful lot of funds to be able to do it.
No doubt.
Sold a lot of candy and a lot of something else. Right?
See the Woodbridge.
Speaking of Colonia, your son Tommy is one of the starters on the Colonia High basketball team. They just had a terrific season this year, John.
They did. They ended with a great season. I know you were at some of their games. Thank you for going out and supporting them. That was the Woodbridge Knights of Columbus.
Right there.
857, yep. Catholic Men's Organization, founded in 1904. Thank you for all the community work they do here in Woodbridge as well.
They're followed by the Colonia Volunteer Chemical Hook and Ladder Company, District number 12. Chief Ricky
Capacina.
Thank you, John. They have 2 to 3 trucks in the parade. And we're going to go with 3. They've been around since 1943.
And they always run a great St. Patrick's Day party. That is next weekend. It's always a sellout crowd.
Get your tickets early.
Yeah, they do that. I believe now it's in memory of the late Harry Sika.
Yes.
This year's Irish Woman of the Year, Susan Crawford. I met with her earlier today, and here's what she had to say about today's parade.
Okay, now I'm here with Susan Crawford, who is the Irish Woman of the Year for this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade. I want to talk a bit about the organization itself. My understanding is you grew up in the organization, your parents were members, you became a member, you had a daughter, your daughter is involved, and now you have a new grandson, Jaden. So talk about your heritage and talk about the memories you have. You remember the picnics years ago and the Christmas parties?
Okay, so Yes, we are called. We call ourselves charter members because my mom and dad, actually with the McGoverns and the Jacksons, started this club back in 1966. So as kids, we went to all these parades. They had parades. They had Christmas parties. So it made Christmas really nice. Then. As we got older and everything, I continued taking my mom. My dad passed and my brother passed, but they were always real involved in the this club because it's a wonderful club. But then as the years went on, now I brought my family, which my daughter, which was Miss American Irish in 2011.
Very nice.
She was Miss, and now she has a little baby, and we're hoping to continue bringing him into, maybe he'll be a Grand Marshal someday.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, congratulations, Susan, on the honor.
Thank you.
And enjoy your march in today's parade.
And I will. And it looks like it's going to clear up,
is.
so hopefully it'll be good.
The luck is on your side.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Enjoy the day.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Sheehan waving.
Yep. You know so many of the folks who are involved in the fire services, John, because, well, hey, you are, but for somebody like me who's not, just from being around, because those fire service folks are engaged in the community at multiple levels, and just they're part of the fabric that really makes the town go.
They do, absolutely.
This is our friends at somewhere. Dirty.
Oh, this is the roller
Jersey.
derby girls.
Okay.
Yeah. The Dirty Jersey Roller Derbies. They're a nonprofit organization. They were created with dedication not only to the sport, but to each of the members in the community. The Dirty Jersey Roller Derby was founded by skaters with the mission to empower each and every skater while having fun and giving back to their community.
Yeah, and a couple of costume characters here. And there we see bike. Just right in front of that was the Woodbridge Township Domestic Violence Response Team. Thank them for all the hard work that they do.
And their mission is to break the cycle of violence. Together with the Woodbridge Police Department, the team provides the best possible support for victims regardless of race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation.
We're celebrating their 25th anniversary, John. That goes fast too, doesn't it?
It sure does. I wonder how hard it is to walk on those stilts.
I think I'm going to let you find out and let me know. How's that? Maybe next year.
Could use him in a couple basketball games.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's probably not easy.
No. As we hear the St. Brendan Navigator Pipe and Drum come into view, founded in 1985. The band is from Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and has been marching through the Jersey Shore for 39 years. They accept new members of all types, from no musical ability to expert and young and not so young. They provide free lessons.
Well, today they have it covered up with their rain gear. They generally wear the Lindsay tartan.
Yeah, you don't get to see the tartans, the crisscross patterns with them this year, but we understand that.
Derek.
Followed by Mother Seton. Mother Seton Regional High School. Yeah. These are their ambassadors. Founded in 1963, the Catholic school that challenges, empowers, and inspires young women to achieve excellence in academics, personal growth, and service to others in a nurturing, richly diverse community.
Academically, the graduating class of 2019 has received 100% college acceptance and $9.3 million in academic scholarships and awards. So congratulations. Happy parents right there. Their mid-sized school fosters individual attention and interaction among the administration, faculty, staff, and, of course, the students. They promote culture of learning, leadership, and service. Mother Seton Regional High School is a place for academic faith, involvement, and where did I go? Oh, sorry. And a special something that they call Seton Spirit.
You just see the Valhalla's Pirates out of Point Pleasant, also a reenactment group, making its way down Main Street.
They've been around now the last several years, both in the St. Patrick's Day Parade and the Holiday Parade. So
yes. And from the great Bay City of Perth Amboy, the Perth Amboy Fire Department, and we're proud to know that their chief is from Woodbridge Township, Edward A. Mullen.
His father, of course, has been involved in the fire services here in Woodbridge for decades, and is a terrific guy, as is Ed, the chief of Perth Amboy. They've been around since 1881, John. That's a long time ago.
It sure is, and that family has a history too. The father, the grandfather, right, of the chief now was a police chief.
Yep, exactly right.
Back in his day.
Yep. So thanks for coming back year after year. Our neighbors from Perth Amboy.
You know, again, despite the weather, the crowd really is a great size today.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, and earlier I pointed out in some pre-parade interviews, you know, you go down Linden Avenue, you walked it.
I did.
You go down there, it is just amazing to see the amount of homes that have parties.
Oh, they do.
Their
Absolutely.
front lawns, their driveways, their sidewalks.
Yeah, it really
decorated.
is.
Their
People
lawn
are out on the
furniture's
street.
out.
Yep, exactly
Absolutely.
Right. Here we see the VFW post 4410 over there on Pearl Street. They're a veterans and auxiliary group. They were founded in the 1950s. Al Jankowski is the VFW commander. There we see the Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad.
Fred Lahody's Ragtimers. Again, I don't think any parade in Woodbridge occurs without them not being here.
Exactly right. Here we are. Yeah, let's listen to Ragtimers.
Have a number of Girl Scout troops coming into view. Starting with Troop 80228.
They'll be joined by 83544, 83715, 83670, and 83542.
And I think they had two more additions as well, 80105 and 82600.
80228 headed by Nicole Androvich, Michelle Liskak, and Lisa Locke. 83544 led by Kim Castor and Denise Hollenbach, I guess? Hollenbach. Tara Dahoney, Jen Torricelli, and Kim Acosta head up there 83-715, and Marisa Lonardo and Karen Claudia lead 83-670, and Lauren Tully and Sarah Doric head 83542.
And for 80105, your leaders are Jamie Jackson, Paula Alves, and Kerri-Anne Solecki. And 82600, leaders Jennifer Limmer and Patricia Kashik.
Every year I make a motion to shorten the numbers, and next year they come back and they're the same 5 digits. So keep at it.
This is the National American Miss Queen and Cover Girls. The Queens are representing New Jersey for the 2018. All girls represented New Jersey at Nationals in California this past November. National American Miss, one of the top 5 pageants in the United States. They also do a lot of community service, volunteering over 750 hours since August alone.
That's a lot of service. And initial Miss Queens and Cover Girls.
Followed by Central Jersey Pink Heels.
Yeah.
No One Fights Cancer Alone. This organization out of Old Bridge, under the leadership of Jason McKeon. Thank them for all their service and supporting men and women who don't have to fight cancer alone.
Exactly right. And their truck color certainly stands out, John.
Yeah.
Don't see a lot of pink fire trucks. anymore.
No, I think that was the first one I ever saw, and I haven't seen one since. It's the same one.
We have a little break right now. We see some of the folks again lining the walkway.
As we do that again to Laura Jacobs and Maureen Juergens, the parade chair and co-chair, we thank them, and Debbie Hutchinson, the president of the American Irish.
For all their dedicated hard work. They really do. They pour themselves into it.
Absolutely. Mary Alice Jacko, again, the Grand Marshal. Susan Crawford, Irish Woman of the Year. Ken Gardner, Irish Man of the Year. Erin Cahill, Miss American Irish. And Grace Fisher, Lady in Waiting. And it sounds like we're now going to hear from the new Heat Sports Bar and Lounge. I think they're coming. And there's Frankie from Ariana's up top.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he can see us in the from where we are. I see him with Adita from Ariana's. They just opened up, or they're getting ready to open up this new club in Perth Amboy. It's a sports lounge where the old Alcivelli's used to be.
Ah, is that where it was?
Yes, right on 35 in Perth Amboy, just past the Woodbridge border.
Well, good luck with that.
He's been appearing in the last couple parades.
Look at this.
With a float. I think he's is he handing out, it almost looks like biscotti. I'm not sure what he's handing out. He's handing out something to the crowd. Yeah.
It looks like it.
He's got a couple cases there.
And Ariana's a really nice place if you're having an event. They can even have fireworks, right?
Yeah, so Frankie DiMattina and Sal Amato, the two partners who own it. And now,
these look like the who are these
Ford's
guys?
Clara Barton Baseball League.
Okay, my old stomping grounds. My sons all played there. I used to be the president of it. Our own Howie Bauer, we mentioned before, he's a former president of that.
They had a great year last year in 2018. Their 9, 10, and 12-year-old teams each winning division championships.
There we go. FC BBL. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, right now Scott Murphy is their president, Rob Bunton, vice president, Don Leach, second VP, Rich Casaligi, player agent, and Lisa Olaki, treasurer, and Joanne Murphy, recording secretary.
And under Scott's leadership, the family, the enrollment has grown. So that's great to hear.
Got a nice complex too.
Yes.
Very nice complex. For those who are viewing, we're at the end of the 4th division.
One more to go.
Again, it's turned out to be a great day here on March the 10th, 2019 at the 46th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, Woodbridge Township. I had the opportunity to speak to the president of the American Irish Association today, Debbie Hutchinson, and here's what she had to say.
I'm now here with Debbie Hutchinson, the president of the American Irish Association here in Woodbridge. Congratulations. You did something today to stop the rain before the parade kicks off. But I want to talk a bit about what the organization does here in Woodbridge besides putting together this fabulous parade.
Well, John, we work year-long for the community. Whenever the town needs something done, they know to come to the American Irish because we will get it done. We're very involved with the veterans in Edison. We do many activities with them during the year. We feed the homeless. We're just there. We do spaghetti dinners for those families in need. We just do whatever is needed of us.
So for the viewing audience, so where do you meet? How often do you meet? How do they join?
Well, our general meeting takes place once a month at the Knights of Columbus on Route 27 in Island. We also have a board meeting once a month as well, and it takes place at the same place. You can join the organization many different ways. Online, you can go to our website at ameriirish.com. We also have forms that we hand out to, if you speak to any of our members, they will tell you they always carry the slips with them to hand out to people who wish to join.
Right, very good. Well, again, it's an exciting day here in Woodbridge, and we're here, supporting your organization. TV 35 obviously is going to do full coverage of today, pre-parade, and obviously the parade, and have a great afternoon at your post party as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Junior Teen Spirit of New Jersey? Yes, it is. There we go. Well, they're going to have the Queen. Let's see. Junior Teen Spirit of New Jersey. Danielle Elise Penny. Okay, that's her last name. Sorry. She's the queen for this year, 2019. And she is followed by
Donegal Township Rifles Revolutionary War Reenactment Group. And one of the things they ask is, please don't be offended that they don't have the American flag with them, but it wasn't actually carried until the War of 1812. So they point that out, and I believe they're under the leadership of Ed McGuinn, who is a resident here in Woodbridge Township in the Port Reading section, and they were formed in 2007.
Before 1812, only regimental flags were carried. And next up, we see the JFK Marching Band. Just one little note about that. The red, white, and blue uniforms of the last group signify the regimental colors of regiments that fought for the American colonies. That Donegal Township Rifles.
And again, the JFK Mustangs, as they start coming in under the leadership of Joshua Cabrera.
71 members strong.
The Marching Mustangs finished their 54th season with a season-high score of 81.605, receiving a Best Music Award in the process. The staff and students would like to thank the faculty and staff at JFK, the Woodbridge community, and of course the band parents for all their support.
Josh Cabrera, as you mentioned, John was their director. Amanda Hugelmeyer is the color guard instructor. Brandon Eberhardt on percussions and visual captions. The drum majors, McKenna Blair and Alexandra Maza. Section leaders, Shia Amin, Arjiv Divas, Mahek Patel, and the drum captains, Sanjin Hatsik, Asmita Ghosh, and Surya Sentahil, and the color guard captain, or the guard captain, is Aurora Banks. JFK Marching Mustangs.
That wraps up 3 of our high schools, and they've all had a great turnout today.
They did.
And now we see the Island Fire Company coming into place. There's the District 9. I see Ed Mullen, located on Green Street here in Island.
As we said, his son, that is the fire chief in Perth Amboy. So the equipment they have, thanks to them for all that they do. Thanks to all of the sponsors of today's event. Without their support, this parade wouldn't be possible. So thank you all for that. As the parade works towards a conclusion here. But
also want to thank the Woodbridge Police Department, the Auxiliary and Specials, and the CERT team, and Public Works, and everybody who is behind the scenes working on today's parade.
Exactly right.
Certainly appreciate all their support. And now we have the
DeLorean.
Yeah, 1982 stainless steel DeLorean on the screen. I know these are a very limited amount of cars that are made.
About 9,000 cars were produced from 1981 to 1983.
Best known when it's in Back to the Future movies.
Back to the Future, right? Exactly right.
And that car is assembled in Northern Ireland.
Believe it or not, the owner's manual to that one, because it's a stainless steel outer body panel, suggests using Scotch-Brite pads and gasoline to clean the car.
Wow. There's Irene Conti on the Investors Bank float, another sponsor of today's St. Patrick's Day Parade, thanks to Investors Bank. Several locations here in Woodbridge Township.
And we see some of the more emergency service vehicles in there. And thanks to, again, John, you've mentioned it, but the El Ranchito right here on the corner on Main Street. 732-855-6870 if you want to get some takeout. There's the Learning Tree folks. That banner. Colonia First Aid and folks at Hackensack Meridian.
Who is, I believe, the top sponsor of today's parade. John F. K. Medical Center, Hackensack Meridian.
When you look up Main Street, you can see some more emergency services vehicles come into view. And again, congratulations to the Grand Marshal, Mary Alice Jacko, to Susan Crawford, the Irish Woman of the Year, to Ken Gardner, the Irish Man of the Year, Erin Cahill, Miss American Irish, and Grace Fisher, the Lady in Waiting. So congratulations to all of them. And John, the people probably most relieved are Laura and Maureen, who were the parade chairs.
Yes. Yeah, Maureen's got, she knows what she's got to do for next year. She's already begun learning, and she knows she has a year to get it ready.
And work probably begins tomorrow, if it hasn't already begun.
So at the conclusion of today's parade, the American Irish host an event at the Woodbridge Community Center. That's their post-parade event. I believe, like any other year, it'll be attended by hundreds of people.
And if you're hearing it now, you missed it.
Yeah, it's a great way to wind down a day after all this work.
Exactly right.
It's the culmination of what they've done for the last year plus.
While you may have missed it this year, if you're watching it, write it down. Next year there'll be one too.
Absolutely.
See some of the folks there. And the party will go on next year as well. You see some of the crowd. I thought I saw some
it looked like we had a little bit more.
A little bit more of a group. There we go.
We go. Okay, we probably have another pipe and drum coming down. I'd say a military unit behind as well, which is probably CERT.
Yes. The DPW folks already got the street sweeper in place.
Yeah.
If you saw
did
that
you
last
see
shot,
that? I did.
Ready to go. Remember McCormick kids that an hour after the parade is over, you wouldn't know there was one here. Not quite sure it lasts that long.
That's for sure.
I think we missed the learning experience. I saw them walk by awfully quick. They were part of that group right at the end. They've been around since 2014. They got the Chairman's Award for Excellence in 2016. And I don't know who this is, John. We run out of pages in our book.
You know what happened? We had a number of groups that did not.
Yeah,
so maybe they got here a little late, came to the end, but we'll certainly note them as we can figure them out.
So it should be on the drum here. The Celtic Cross.
There you go.
Somebody. I didn't see
out
the
of New York City.
New York City.
It's probably, I don't know if it's from Staten Island or actually New York City, but one of the boroughs. So we thank the Celtic Cross for making their way down Main Street.
Young people in this group.
Absolutely. And they're actually marching in front of some of the past parade marshals.
There we go. See if we see them in any of our groups. But thanks for coming to the Celtic Cross people.
Here we go.
Yeah, there we go. There's the parade marshals from this year. They do. People stand out there and keep order, make sure the parade marches along.
And I'll point out at the back, you see Mary Alice again, the parade Grand Marshal.
She went all. She went
back around
because she's been a marshal for a very long time. Always does, in fact.
Her brother George waving. Again, this is a family event for the. Her maiden name was Aston, so the Astons and the Jackos and the Styles and all the families that have put this together. And it was interesting earlier. They noted that the McGoverns and the Jacksons first put this all together, and I know both of those families as well. So this is great. The tradition carries on.
It was nice for Mary Alice to go back and finish up the parade with the people she inevitably was walking with year in and year out, and asked. I saw her. I don't know if it was you that asked her, John, or somebody else. They said to her, "What are you doing?" Oh, it was Joan Dias, who she passed off the every year the shillelagh gets passed from the preceding. Give me 10 chances at most things. Preceding Grand Marshal to the current Grand Marshal, and she asked her what she was doing after the parade. She said, "I'm going to Disneyland," and she is. Disney World. And she is. So.
I'd take either one at this point.
Yes.
And again, the CERT group, again, with all their assistance that they provide during public events like this or natural emergencies.
Yep, they do an awful lot of work. They're everywhere. They really are dedicated servants to the people of Woodbridge Township, as we see the CERT emergency vehicle coming in. That'll do it, John.
Yeah, so Craig,
roll to a conclusion.
Absolutely. On behalf of TV 35, thank you very much for the viewers who have watched today's 46th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Craig, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, John, for doing it. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We'll see you next year.